Hello world and friends and family. This is Joel. I haven't done one of these video blog sort of things in about 3.5 years. I was on YouTube earlier looking at all my old videos from my old podcast. I was like, oh wow, it's been quite some time. Here we are in quarantine, on lockdown, with my dog, with my wife, and just wanted to give you guys some encouragement today as you watch this. So the story goes about 4 weeks ago when we got into this, about 5 weeks ago actually for myself, when I was pondering the transition that now we're all experiencing. I was walking my dog, Piper, and one of the things I like to do when I'm walking is just ponder, meditate, pray, talk to God, hopefully hear something back, if you will. And sometimes that comes in pictures, sometimes phrases. In this day, it was actually just a word. And that word was recalibration. And it's been stuck with me this whole time. I actually put a blog post or an Instagram post about it a few days ago on the Instagram photo feed where I mentioned it. And initially when I heard it that day, I think it was right at the beginning of the transition that we've all been walking through. So it was very small in what I thought it was, though it seemed kind of like outside of myself. I was like, oh, the world, the systems need to be recalibrated, you know, the economics and the faith structures, and, you know, people calling it a hoax, like the media, like all these things. Yeah, it needs to be recalibrated. That's a good phrase, a good word that I heard. And as the weeks have gone on, you know, personally, it's like, oh, I have all this time. I have time to create. I have time to do the things that work was keeping me from, or that project that I, you know, like, oh, I can't do my creative thing because I have to do that other thing, that other project, or we have to make dinner, or I have to walk the dog, or I have to spend quality time with the ones that I love, with my wife, with my friends, you know. So all these things, like, I have time to do it now. And you know, I got out the piano, right next to me, I got my guitar. Before we all went lockdown, I got some guitar strings. I was like, I'm gonna make the most of this and like really like go for it. Here I am 4 weeks later, beating myself up or trying not to. I'm like, why am I not waking up and doing it? You know, because before even there were blog posts and people online saying like, go pursue your dreams and take advantage of it and start that thing you always wanted to start. And then now it's the reverse that I'm seeing is like, don't beat yourself up if you're not, like, take care of your mental health, like, it's okay, we're all taking it differently. And you know, here I am with this word recalibration, that I realize it's kind of like my idea of winning the lottery would be, oh, I would finally have the money to take care of me, that I could go pursue all the things that my job or all these other things have kept me away from, and I can go do the thing that I really want to do. Where it's funny is that here we are in something horrible. You know, people are dying. It's a pandemic. It's global. We don't have any money. We're all still waiting for our stimulus checks and everything else. And yet we have all the time. We're being given time, and yet, you know, I'm not taking advantage of it, which again, you can see why I would, you know, one would beat yourself up. But just the notion that, like, it's not winning the lottery, like I said, but you're given an opportunity, and yet I'm realizing there's things about myself that are keeping me from going to the next, you know, going from the Moleskine journal where I've written all these ideas down to actually starting them and seeing things come to fruition. So what I realized is that I'm scared, and then another side of it, oh, I just have insecurities, or things within myself that are actually still holding me back. So even though when the job was there, it's like I can blame the job, or I can, because the thing is, it's like most of us, we wake up, we're on our phone, we go get ready, we go to our 9 to 5, we do the things we have to do, friends, workout, dog walk, dinner, family time, then we're back on our phone, and then here we are without all that other stuff. The main thing, which is like the 9 to 5, gone, and Instagram gets old, Netflix gets old, Disney Plus, Hulu, Apple TV, blah, blah, blah. They get old, and we're stuck wondering who we are and what are we doing with ourselves, and we're just stuck to ourselves. And for some people, I can imagine like that is a dangerous mental health problem, you know, people being distanced from their therapist and whatnot. But it's something that we're all experiencing on a mass scale, because it's like, I can't, if I'm already on my phone for 3 hours a day, I'm not going to be on it for another 8 hours filling that time. And so I'm going to go create. And yet here I am not creating because there's things within me that have actually been there the whole time, and they're being exposed in the midst of this pandemic. And it's like, I knew that they were there, and yet this is really showing me like it's never been about money. It's never been about the 9 to 5. It's about just going inward and addressing the things internally that need to have the light shown on them, so that way I can come out of this pandemic knowing who I am, knowing the things that were hindering me, and then keep moving forward into the next thing. So the encouragement is that, you know, because recalibration with this word, as I began to personalize it, I realized it's actually something that is, I guess you can say, planetary. I do think that it's just like with myself, there's an invitation to recalibrate. And I think as a humanity, we have this opportunity to recalibrate ourselves, because at some point this is going to be over. This is going to be another transition point that we're all going through. But it's hard for me to think like, if we're all going through it and the trauma that it is, you know, again, people are dying. It's the worst thing that's happened in my lifetime. We've never lived through World War I or II, and here we are with thousands of deaths just in the United States alone. And it's hard for me to think like there's not something, again, the name of my podcast was Painful Optimist. So the painful optimist of myself in this is that there's an invitation in the midst of this that we can miss if our eyes are closed, if we're not awake to see the opportunities in the midst of what is here. And I think for me, the opportunity starts inwardly. That I was looking at what does even the word calibrate mean, because for something to be recalibrated, it had to have been calibrated in the first place, right? So I was journaling earlier. Again, now I'm journaling because we're all needing things to do with our time. So I just wrote, it means that there must have been an initial calibration, a mark based on a set standard of measurement. And I quickly thought of my car, that when you change the tires out, or you just say you haven't done it, you've gone over a few bumps and potholes, all of a sudden you're going straight and you let go of the steering wheel and you start veering off a little bit. And the recalibrating of the wheels, they fill up the air in the tires, and they make sure, you know, especially during a tire rotation, they try to make sure that when your wheel is set straight, you're going straight. But I think, at least for myself, there's been this idea that I'm going straight, and yet I'm like, oh, I'm actually way over on the side of the road right now in another lane when I didn't really want to be in that lane. And all of a sudden I need to find, how do I get back to this lane? And I do think for us, there's an opportunity wherever we are at in the world to really be recalibrated. For me, it's just an invitation. You can say the universe, you can say God, you can say, oh, it's just the opportunity of the times that we're living in to be recalibrated back to the thing that makes us, not just the things that makes us come alive, but just the things in our life that are the most important. Because a lot of times, you know, like I said, we're in bed, you know, on our phones, or we wake up with it, we put it down only when we go to work, and we come back and we're back on it. And all of a sudden we're given this moment to really reflect on all these things that we've built up into our lives. And all of a sudden the systems around us, whether it's economic, whether it's our job, whether it's not seeing our friends and family, going and getting a drink, or going and having dinner and hanging out. I mean, Easter, I don't know how people, I saw people doing Easter egg hunts yesterday. Not sure how they did it, but hopefully they're safe. But I didn't do anything, and I know a lot of people didn't do anything. I mean, churches are shut down, synagogues during Passover, you know, being just shut down on hold. And there's gonna be an end to this in the next, hopefully, month. But maybe it'll take 2 months. But I know the governors on either side of the country are trying to come up with what that plan looks like. And so the encouragement is, let yourself be recalibrated. Figure out what are those things that, not necessarily the hopes and dreams that you're not doing that you need to do, but if there is a recalibration that is available to us right now, what are the things about your life, my life, that need to be recalibrated to be prepared to walk into the next season of post-COVID-19? I mean, I say post, but maybe it's just post-lockdown, because as far as we know, this COVID-19 and the strains of it are going to be with us. But let's just say a post-lockdown world, unless we have it again in the fall. But what does a post-lockdown Joel look like? Or a post-lockdown you out there listening to this look like? If you were able to be recalibrated to the things that really make you come alive, the things that make you who you are as a human being. So that's my encouragement. I'll keep talking about it. I think it is an invitation that's global right now. I think it's something that is in the planet or on the planet in the midst of this. But that's kind of all I have. If you do have any questions, I know some of, you know, I've read different things. I'm on Twitter a lot. Even if I don't comment on Twitter or like make my own posts, I just read a lot on Twitter. So I know, again, like I said, I've read some people, like, they're not able to see their therapist. They're not able to, that just maybe their anxiety is really high just because of the lockdown. And obviously there's things that come out in the midst of the quarantine, that just the unhealthy things that we all have, that we're all working through or trying to work through. Maybe this is actually causing it to be heightened, which obviously, when I read those stories on Instagram of what people are going through on that side, obviously it breaks my heart. So if you are on that side, please write me or leave a DM in the comment, and just, I'll give you my cell phone number. It doesn't really matter. But yeah, just whatever you need to do. If you feel like this recalibration thing resonates with you, you're like, I can't even recalibrate because have so much anxiety right now in the lockdown that I can't even get outside of my head to think about the next thing. Like, shoot me a message. Let's just talk. I do like to pray, so I could pray with you. We could just talk, God or no God, you know. You don't have to get religious at all with it. But yeah, just want to leave you all with that encouragement, and hopefully it speaks to you, just the journey of recalibration in the season of the pandemic lockdown that we're in. All right, guys. Thank you.